watch some of you guys. Going once, twice. Mr. Cohen, I know you were asleep back there.
Some of the things you're talking about here are kind of within the system, and the general public probably doesn't get involved with things of that detail. But it seems like the one time that the public often does hear about the foster care system are the rare times when a foster child is returned to their original home and then they're injured or killed or beaten or neglected or whatever. You mentioned the federal trust. Are you confident that all Ohio child care agencies are following the thrust of the federal law that says family reunification is not the number one priority, the child's safety is? Are you confident that everybody's on the same track?
Let me answer Bill this way. You're absolutely right that the general public does not know the intricacies of the child welfare system. But I think what is more disturbing is that as a society, we pay attention when we hear on the radio or watch TV or read the newspaper a child has been killed. And we get mad. And we pay attention. And we think about it for about 2 or 3 days. And then we kind of go back about our business. What we're trying to do here is to focus attention on this issue. And there are several issues, which I'll get to the question in a moment. One is, are children being put back in abusive homes too often? But the other question that I think we miss, because it's not as sensational and it just occurs, is kids who spend their life in foster care and don't get what every child should have, and that is permanent loving home. I think we have a cultural problem. I don't know that it's a legal problem, although we have some legal issues in here that need to be changed. Quite candidly, I think we as a society have to be willing to say to the crack-addicted father or mother, or the father or mother who has horrible anger problems, when this continues over a long period of time, and when efforts are made to reunify that child with that parent still is not ready, we have to say much earlier than we are saying today, much earlier than we are saying today, to those people who are parents in the name only. We hope you get your anger under control. We hope you get your addiction under control. We'll pray for you. We'll try to help you. But your little child has got to grow up. And that child needs a stable and loving parent. And we're not going to wait for you anymore, because this child can't wait for you. He or she only has one time to grow up. And what may be not a very long time for you, 4 or 5 years, if you get your act together, maybe or maybe not get your act together, that child is growing up. And I will tell you that we've heard time and time again from foster parents around the state who came in, and they weren't asked to come, they just showed up, and at this open public meeting that we held, and they would tell a story. And a story would go something like this. I had Johnny from the time he was 4 days old. I had him until he was 4. And then somebody came and took him away from me. I wanted to adopt him, but they told me I couldn't adopt him because he had to go back eventually to his mom. And Johnny was taken away from me. I was the only mother he ever knew. And 3 months later, Johnny was dead. So that's got to stop. And I think we just have to say the child's interest is the most important thing. And that's what we have to do. So I've heard it, and I've seen it, and I've seen it for many years. And so, no, I think things have to change. I think everybody in the system, or virtually everybody, judges, children's services, are very well intended and try the best they can. But I think we have to culturally change the attitude in this state, maybe in this country, and say, look, the kid has to grow up. 4 years is an eternity for that child. It's not like us as adults where 4 years is like nothing. So yeah, I think we need changes. And I'm not convinced that the law is in fact being totally followed. No.
Is there a specific recommendation in these recommendations that tells the agencies?
Well, a lot of it is going to be to speed up. If you look at the recommendations, a lot of it is going to be to speed up the process. And Melinda, I don't know if you want to take that. Let me introduce Melinda Sykes Haggerty, who just got married and I don't remember her last name. Melinda Sykes. Melinda works for me. Shortly after I became Attorney General, I asked her to head up our children's initiatives, which are many in our office. She's an attorney, but probably more important than any of that is she was in the foster care system. You want to take that? What will deal with this? I'll take the baseball. Thank you.
In very simple terms, are there specific recommendations?
The answer is yes.
We'll do what he said, which is more quickly tell bad parents presented their application.
Sure, Bill. If you look at the first recommendation when we bring the reports in, it centers around permanency and safety. And what it seeks to do, it's a legislative recommendation that seeks to give another grounds for termination of parental rights. So it's some of these cases where the kids have come in and out of foster care for a long period of time over their lives. We know that many of the kids that come into foster care as teenagers, we've seen them before in the foster care system. So we really need to be taking care of those issues sooner. So you'll see one of the recommendations particularly deals with that. But I think what the Attorney General says, which is really important, is this issue of cultural change and keeping the child at the forefront in everything that we do. And so that's something that we're going to have to work on over time.
You know, letting the foster child, if it's age appropriate, go into court. Let that child be heard. We heard time and time again from foster children who said, no one listens to me. We heard time and time again from foster parents who said, no one listens to me. I'm with this child all day, every day. And yet, 4 years later, 5 years later, 6 years later, when somebody has the idea they're going to take this child away from the foster parent and put it back with the natural parent, would you think that they would ask the foster parent? Many times that foster parent, they feel at least they're not being heard at all. So I think, Bill, to the totality of all these recommendations do go towards that. As Mona said, it's a cultural change, and we've got to work on that. But we have provisions in here which are going to make it much more child-centered, more focused on that child, the best interest of that child.